Okay. Well, I know everybody is, our players and fans alike, and certainly the coaching staff are incredibly disappointed in the outcome here tonight. Thought it was a really good game that had some really great moments for the Sooners, and obviously some really ill-timed and poor moments as well. Coaching, playing, the things that have helped us be successful all year long. Tonight, when we needed it the most, we just didn't have what it takes. And whether that's making a stop, making a field goal, doing the basics well, snapping and catching and punting. Had a 17-point lead, had great momentum, and just we lost the momentum and gave up a 75-yard drive and a 3rd and 6 that we lost leverage and coverage, and gave up a 4th and 2 on that drive. And Alabama's got a really good football team and a really good staff, and they were able to start to slowly but surely creep back into the game, and then we had a couple of really ill-timed mistakes that they capitalized on with the pick 6 there, and going in at 17 all in the half, but came out, got a 3-and-out on defense. Offense goes 3-and-out, and then we had not a great punt, and then we get a penalty, a personal foul, and that just give them a short field, and they convert, they score out of that, and we just couldn't dig ourselves out. We end up scoring a touchdown there later in the quarter, but we couldn't complement each other when we needed to the most and make the plays that we needed to, and we have made, again, all season. Kicking game. There were some times it was really good tonight. Some other times, man, we didn't have what we've had all year long. So it doesn't take away from the kind of season that we had. And again, it's really, in many ways, it's pretty ironic how the storyline we just changed the helmet. From I thought our offense was in great command. Defense, man, we got things really rolling early. And we actually were dominating, a part of the game. So some ways the same, some ways not. And then the turnovers, the penalties, the missed opportunities, the drop punt, poor punt, the missed field goals, the real poor penalties that we had, and then they couldn't get the stops when we needed to. So, but it doesn't take away from the pride I have for the group of seniors, guys that won't be here in the future. Man, they couldn't be more proud of them, the deposit that they chose to make, in an environment, in a world where everybody's trying to get theirs. This is a group of guys that chose to not take a withdrawal, but leave a deposit and leave their mark, do the things that we need them to do to help elevate this program moving forward, just by putting their head down and loving each other, loving the opportunity, loving the brotherhood, and loving the opportunity to fight, for the Sooners. And couldn't, again, be more thankful and proud for that group of guys and the group of guys that, are returning as well. Again, easily one of the funnest teams I've been around. The spirit of this team, their love to compete, their love for their brothers, their willingness to allow us to coach them day in and day out. What a joy that they've been. And incredibly disappointed for our fans. Man, it was an amazing season by them, our students, our band. Just fantastic. The passion, the energy, the support, second to none. And just thank them for, again, showing out like they have all year. And but our best days are sitting in front of us. I really believe that. We got a great foundation coming back. And again, I think a vision for, what it needs to look like, moving forward. So, with that, I'll open it up.
Start on the left side, George. George Stoya, Sooner Scoop. Brent, Tate and Grayson were so good for you all year. Were you surprised at all by just kind of how poor the special teams unit as a whole was tonight?
Again, I mean, nothing surprises me. It's football. And there was a heck of a lot more that was amazing. than poor. So I put it all in perspective. I know, what it takes, the strength of this football team, and, those things, couldn't afford to play poorly against a good team at times. And at times we were solid, and at times we weren't what we needed to be. But again, you look at the body of work, and again, the scoreboard's all that matters. I know what we preached last time when we played them, and but you go down and you look, and you would have, without seeing some of the penalties and some of the special teams plays, you look at the statistics, and you would have thought that we had our opportunities all the way to the end, despite some of those issues, and that just shows you the type of team that we had, and we had the ability and the opportunities to overcome that even in just the last several minutes of the game, despite some just incredibly critical mistakes. And but it just wasn't in the cards for us tonight. But that group of guys, we wouldn't be in the position we were tonight had it not been for the consistency and how special they have been all year long.
Barry Trammell, Tulsa World. Mistakes killed you, of course, Brent. You've well documented. But just in terms of line of scrimmage and making plays, and your offense was great early, your defense was great early. That flipped about, almost late in the second quarter. What happened with the offense and the defense to where Alabama got the upper hand and never really let it go?
Yeah, they had the I guess it was maybe a 75-yard drive there. Again, they converted. Again, they got them to 3rd and 6, backed up, and they throw a corner route. We lost leverage on it. We had our opportunities, got them to 4th and 2 inside the 10, and they catch it underneath. They threw it quick. They just a little window, and then they scored a touchdown there, and then we come back and we go again. When we weren't in rhythm, it couldn't have come at a worse time. And so then we go 3 and out, and then we send the punt team out. Then we have a delay. We've got to have better awareness there. Get the delay. Then we drop the punt and give them a short field. We go 3 and out. They kick a field goal, and then we punt, and they get the ball, and we have a personal foul. Then I think we pick 6. We pick 6 after that, and threw a pick 6. So next thing you know, it's 17-17 going into half. But again, as we showed, we pulled it within 3 in the fourth quarter there. Came out the first drive, the second half defensively, and really got after them. And then we went 3 and out, and then that was where we punt, and then a poor punt, not a good punt, and then we have the penalty after that. Now they got a 30-yard. They get maybe a 30-yard touchdown drive or a field goal drive, but either way, they end up getting up by 10. We pull it back and get it to 3, and again, when we needed to, we couldn't, pull one out like we have, several other games this year.
Yeah, Colton Slay, the Oklahoman. Yeah, Brent, it seemed like from afar, at least, John improved a lot health-wise in this game, felt more comfortable. I was just curious how you thought he played tonight, but also reflecting on his season and everything he fought through this season. Just what do you think of him?
He's a warrior, man. He's got everything that you want in a competitor and a leader, in a quarterback. He's got great talent. He fought through. He'll be his testimony, but he was determined. Just even the game after he hurts it. Where a lot of guys want to cool and be on the sideline, put their hats on, their shades on, wear their jewelry and stuff like that. He's like, I want to suit up. I want to be with my guys. I want to go through warm-ups, and that's just the kind of human being he is, the type of leader he is. He leads from the front in everything that he does. He takes way more responsibility when he shouldn't, when things aren't going well. And that's why he's going to be a great player and play this game a long time. But I think you saw, glimpses of how special he can be all season long, just despite some of the injuries and things of that nature that he fought through. And I think you saw tonight, if we could have been a little better on defense, when we needed to, a little better on the special teams, I really believe that we'd still be playing. And we'd be talking about we won the game because of how well, John played at the right times.
Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoma. And Brent, you mentioned this a couple of times in your opening statement, just that this doesn't take away from the big picture of the season. Obviously, double-digit wins, making the playoff. I mean, the tangible results that you got are evidence of that. But I'm wondering, from your perspective, what else about this season stands out for you that makes it successful in your eyes?
Yeah, like I said, just the selflessness of the football team, the leadership of really the whole locker room, but led by our seniors, guys that made a decision to leave a deposit, not just take a withdrawal and see how much they could get out of it and make it all about them. They were completely and totally immersed in the moment. In this day and age, when there's a lot of easy things to be distracted by, whether it's NFL opportunities, making your plays and your stats, and looking for a hole in the fence. It's like R. Mason, It could have been so easy for R. Mason to just sit this one out. And he's got a great, great future in the NFL. And he's invested too much. And he fought like hell to, along with our training staff, to get back and be a part of tonight. And we had a lot of great opportunities to go win the game tonight because of him. But that's what I take the most from this group of guys. And I told them they're gonna leave their mark. And again, it's not a badge of honor and those types of things. But this is a group of guys that got us to our 5th playoff, and did again in many ways to many people the unthinkable. And Bell would again be an amazing example for the returning players, what it needs to look like, what the standard of Oklahoma is, what the expectations are here, and then this is how we do it, how you play, how you compete, how you show up every day, the level of consistency, the level of sacrifice and love that you got to have, and made it kind of reestablish the brotherhood as much as anything and how important it is.
Yeah, Brent, John Hoover, Sooners on SI. We saw some new plays today, some new formations, sugar huddle, stuff like that, some different stuff. But what I'm wondering is, as it got tougher and tougher to run the football and there was more and more pressure on John as he was running for his life a little bit, what did you, coming into this game, what did you like about the offensive game plan in your conversations with Ben, things that you guys thought would work and hold up?
Yeah, I mean, I really loved the entire game plan. And I thought there was creativity. I thought a good part of the game, we didn't allow the defense to just sink their teeth in and dig their cleats in the ground. Manipulate, create leverage in the run game, the pass game. Alabama's one of the best defenses in college football, with a group of, personnel that is as good as there is and incredibly well coached. So, moving the ball, scoring points, creating explosive plays, which we did all of those things, it was going to be incredibly difficult. And again, the timeliness of some of, how we played, you're going to win. You're going to win typically because of how you complement each other. And some of the mistakes that we made in all 3 phases, really stagnated, us as a football team, and, created opportunities for them. Again, but by and large, we're really good in the red zone. Overall, we created several explosive plays, outgained them, in total yards, and third downs, fourth downs dominated, the totals there. They were 23% conversion rate. We were just under 50%, and thought we were efficient throwing the ball. And again, they're going to stack the box and not let you run it too. But we, both of us ran it for under 2 yards a carry. We got to get better there. That's going to be a, tremendous, focus for us moving forward. We have to get better at running the football. But incredibly proud. We had 3 freshmen, start all year. And I thought those guys really grew up. But I really liked how, how I felt like we were more on the attack. And there's plenty of drives that we left a lot to be desired. Okay, there's several drives there when we needed a drive or we needed to move the ball a little bit. That's part of winning too. Just move the ball, get it off the goal line, make a first down or 2, and let's punt and let's get the field position back, in control. And we weren't able to do that when we needed to. And we played a part on defense. The kicking game played a tremendous part. Lack of discipline played a part. And then Alabama has got a good team and a good DNA, and they were able to control that, that part of it, for us.
Josh McDaniel, AU Daily. Brent, obviously not the result you wanted tonight, but still a big shift from last year to even be in this spot. And so what was just the biggest life lesson you've had over the course of this year to get you to this point?
Yeah, don't let anybody on the outside, put limitations on you, on what we can and can't become. And it matters about what we believe. It matters, the work that we put into it. And I think, again, the strain, the love, the sacrifice, the work, the talent. I think there's lots of layers to all of it. I think our staff has recruited incredibly well. I think that showed again this season. I thought that was a kind of a foundational piece. I thought we brought in good players through the portal that helped us have the kind of season that we needed. And then I thought culturally speaking, I think I was as pleased with that piece as well. Everything starts with me when it comes to being a tone setter, the things that are important to our standards, the things that we value, the things that we're going to be about, the things that we're willing to tolerate and not tolerate, the type of people that we recruit, and then what we nurture every single day. Because if you're going to do it the right way and for something that, has, lasts longer than, just, this moment, then you have to nurture it every single day. And then, the people make the place at the end of the day. And I think we have incredible people in this building, both players and coaches. And again, I'm just incredibly proud of the group of guys that both are returning and the ones, especially the ones that are exiting. We couldn't have done it if they, didn't stick with it, if they didn't continue to believe when a lot of the things were going on around them that easily they could have bowed out. And they chose not to, players and coaches alike. And so it had some stick-to-itness to them. And that's what it takes. You got to have all of those things. And what you do speaks a lot louder than necessarily what you say. And this is a group of guys who are about the doing all year long.
Time for one more. Far right side, second row.
James Hale, Oklahoma City Sports Radio. Brent, it was another pretty good defensive effort today, and you've built this defense all year. Do you feel like it's left you a great foundation that you can move forward with?
Absolutely. Again, most games I've coached in, man, there's like, oh man, you'd like to get this drive back or this call back, and that certainly is the case, tonight. How you could have helped them be more successful, but this has been a dominant group. It's been a group with incredible passion and energy and toughness. Having an edge to them, a belief, never say die mindset, a group that never pointed fingers or blamed. Man, if they did anything, they brought the team closer together. They were a force field, for the football team. They really were, and they elevated everybody around them. And I think people, when they watched them play, man, they made people proud. And if you didn't like the Sooners, you respected the Sooners after watching the Sooners compete. And again, played like it was recess, played with great, again, energy and just the relentless mindset, I think, resonates with everybody. If you love football, you saw that in this group of guys. So, man, the foundation that they left, the legacy that they left, really, really special, and we'll be, so much better because of them and the contributions that they've left behind. All right, appreciate it. Merry Christmas to everybody.